The other big story tonight in Ohio, growing concern about the toxic fallout after that train crash earlier this month. Residents in the area are complaining of sore throats and headaches after chemicals were released during the controlled burn of the derailed train cars. Officials are adamant that there's no threat to human life, but Ohio's Natural Resources Department revealed an estimated 3,500 fish were killed. Officials continue to test the air, water, and soil nearly 2 weeks after the derailment.
Derailed Friday, 20 of them carrying hazardous materials as flames lit up the sky in northeastern Ohio.
The evacuation order is in place for anyone within a mile radius of the crash site.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit! The fucking shit that burned off in East Palestine! This is not fucking storm clouds! Look at it!
I got arrested because I was trying to do a live report about what people need to know.
Officials are claiming that the air and water are safe. Residents say they can still smell chlorine. They've complained about their eyes watering when they go outside, and one woman says the noxious air killed her chickens.
Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard and just shut down and went very fast.
Look at all these fucking crows. I'm not kidding.
This is within 10 miles of East Palestine.
If you have not evacuated, please leave the area.
Will the Ohio train crash cause a national food shortage? As most of you know by now, less than 2 weeks ago, a train carrying hazardous materials was derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. Days after the train derailed, crews ignited a controlled burn that created a phosgene, which is a highly toxic gas that can cause vomiting, breathing problems, and was used as a weapon in World War I. We now know that there have been reports of animals dying and that there are major concerns from residents as to whether or not these chemicals will be in the water supply and if the air will have long-term negative impacts on their health. But something that no one is talking about is whether or not this train crash will have an impact on the nation's food supply. Ohio has one of the country's largest populations of food manufacturers, with more than 75,000 food manufacturing jobs and more than 1,000 food manufacturing companies. Ohio is home to some of the top food manufacturing companies in the country, many using fresh water from Lake Erie, making the food manufacturing a multi-billion-dollar industry for the state. For example, you have Summer Garden Food Manufacturing 16 miles away from the crash. They manufacture sauces including tomato, cream-based, meat, organic, specialty, and pizza sauces. They also manufacture condiments including barbecue sauce, wing sauce. They also manufacture salsas, simmer sauces, and soups. They also specialize in organic, gluten-free, and non-GMO products. Next, you have Country Pure Foods, which is a food manufacturer about 65 miles from the crash, and they are a top manufacturer of beverages and unique frozen drinks, including juices and plant-based beverages. Shear's Snacks, located about 58 miles from the crash, offer a broad range of chips, cheese puffs, cookies, and cracker potato chips. They also specialize in gluten-free. Smith Foods Inc., approximately 73 miles away from the crash, manufactures milk products including half and half organic milk, lactose-free, omega-free, and grass-fed. They also offer alternative milk products such as soy, almond, coconut, cashew, and others. With over 1,000 food manufacturing companies in Ohio, you have to wonder if this crash will just affect the people living in East Palestine and neighboring cities, or if this will affect the food supply for the entire nation and parts of the world. Let me know what you think down below.
A train carrying the highly toxic chemical vinyl chloride derailed and exploded near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. To prevent a more dangerous explosion, the crew then had to add and burn more toxic chemicals. This created a highly toxic gas that can cause vomiting and breathing troubles and was used as a weapon in the First World War. Huge side effects from burning these toxic chemicals are seen from the wildlife and residents in Ohio. Thousands of fish are found dead, pets are falling sick, and local residents, when returning to Ohio, have reported breathing difficulties and symptoms of asthma. Investigations into why the train derailed show that there was an ineffective oversight by the industry and that the industry has been putting record profits over safety for years. On top of this, train drivers have been warning the government and striking to prevent this kind of horrific accident from happening.
I live in East Palestine, Ohio. My home and my business, separate buildings, are both located within throwing distance of the train derailment. And the water, the creek, is where most of the smell comes from. If you get closer to the creek, which runs through town, it stinks and it burns your eyes. My family and I, my wife and 2 kids, we have an Airbnb we've been living out of since this happened last Friday. This is the first time I've been home in a week because I had to leave my 2 small dogs here. They're okay. I just, had to come feed them. We still have a mortgage on this house. We were pretty well paid off, well more than halfway paid off, but that was based on the value at the time. But it's worthless now because, who's gonna buy a house next to a train wreck? I own Velez engines. The brakes in here. There's all the work in progress that I can't do. And this is the worst smelling part because it actually has a real ceiling. This is all customer stuff except that's one of my son's bikes. The creek's right my back door. You open it up, there it is. And they got the guys in hazmat suits and respirators still back there cleaning it. So I don't really know what we're gonna do. We don't plan on coming back. My wife's a nurse, so she's not taking any chances with the chemicals, and just because we don't know the side effects of what was spilled and burned off. We're trying to get somewhere more permanent to live, one step at a time, I suppose.
There's just been a massive explosion in Ottawa that has resulted in critical injuries. Multiple homes were destroyed and 11 people were rushed to the hospital, and it was caused by a gas leak.
This is happening in Tucson, Arizona right now. Another chemical spill that the hazmat team had to be called in for. Now, this comes just a couple of weeks after a train derailment in Ohio led the EPA to burning off a toxic chemical, of which people are now complaining about illnesses and dead animals in Ohio. Now, here in Tucson, the hazmat team put a mile shelter-in-place order out, which means if you live in that mile, stay in your home. And when you're in your home, the hazmat team said, don't turn on your vents, your AC, your heat, because the nitric acid can seep in. Now, nitric acid is highly corrosive. It's a product used in all kinds of things like dyes and explosives. So you can understand why this in the atmosphere around a town is not great. But it brings up a very important question. How safe are the toxic chemicals that we transport across the United States? With 2 incidents like this in the last couple of weeks, I think we all got a lot of questions that need some answering.
Acid rain in the water supply in Ohio. Yet the governor and the Biden administration still playing down the situation, claiming that everything's perfectly safe. Thousands of livestock have died 100 miles away. Journalists have been arrested. Between this and the Nord Stream pipeline, it's become very obvious, if it wasn't already, where the mainstream media wants your attention. It's not here.
Long-term goals. We think they're trying to distract us from paying attention to. What do you think the real news is that we need to be talking about, bringing up, and bringing to the forefront, and ignoring and talking about all this other BS? This other stuff's a bunch of BS. What do you think the real story is they're trying to hide from us? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Our satellites, but this is truly fair. They need to be human.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit that they burn off, the fucking shit they burn off in East Palestine. This is not fucking storm clouds. Look at it. This is over Darlington. This is their fucking success. That ain't no fucking storm cloud. That's the fucking shit from East Palestine. They're fucking controlled burn.
Breaking news, I-10 is closed in both directions between Rita Road and Kolb due to a crash and a hazmat situation. Nitric acid, authorities tell us, has spilled from an overturned commercial truck. That is according to the Pima County Department of Environmental Quality. Here's a look at the impacted area. You see anyone within a 1-mile radius is being asked to shelter in place and to turn off their heaters and air conditioners in order to not bring in any of the outside air. Let's head out to 9 on your side's Andrew Christensen, who's been there over the last hour. He's live just outside of that 1-mile radius with the very latest. Andrew, what can you tell us?
So, Pat, I want you to take a look at this buildup of traffic. These are the people that are coming off of the I-10 and coming onto Kolb Road. Now, in the past hour, the DPS and police have been going up and down this road. Take a look at UA Tech Park right over there. People from there have been told to evacuate the area. Now, as for what DPS is telling us, they tell us they're looking into an injury that resulted from a crash that involves a commercial truck. It's a tanker that rolled over on I-10 between Rita and Kolb Roads. DPS's Hazardous Materials Response Unit and other nearby agencies are working to contain the situation so people can stay safe. First responders are evacuating the area. Now, right now, I-10 is closed in both directions between Rita and Kolb Roads. We'll definitely keep you updated on air and online at KEGA9.com. Reporting live.
Details are limited right now, but first responders tell us some of the train cars came off the tracks. This is near Highway 221 in the Enery area. We know that CSX officials are on scene and will